I'm gonna die early because of monsters. I'm so happy for it. Is everybody let in? Are we good to start?
Yeah, whenever you want. That's powerful.
Hell yeah. Cool. Right on. Hi guys. How's it going? Hello. No. Hi guys. How's it going? Hello, baby. How are you? Guys, this is the girl that made my Cinder costume. I'm pointing at you. Raise your hand. Yes. Yay! Incredible. She brought the devil to life. Cool. Alright, so this is just a random panel. We can talk about whatever you guys want. If you guys want to ask questions or you want to talk about cosplay, whatever you want. If you guys have suggestions for people that have things, so like if you are a cosplayer and you want to chime in, it's all good. It's completely open floor. We do things really loosey-goosey here, so whatever you guys want, I love your kindred. Whatever you guys want, we can do. It's easy mode. Yeah, should we introduce ourselves first? Let's do it. Let's start. Me first?
Hi guys, I'm LeeAnna Vamp.
It's LeeAnna! She doesn't age. Thanks. I'm convinced she bathes in blood.
I do.
Can't tell everyone my secrets. I don't. Who are you?
Oh, that was really fast. Where? I'm so easy.
My name is Soni Aralynn.
Yeah. Hi, Soni. I'm Jessica. Yay.
And I'm Brit Bliss.
Yay! Should we like intro how we got? Do you guys want to hear how we like real quick abbreviation of how we got started in cosplay real fast? We could probably do that. Yeah,
You guys care about our lives a little bit?
Yeah. Do you want?
Should I start?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be first all the time.
Okay, Brit, your turn.
Hi, okay, I'm first. So I actually got started about 4.5, almost 5 years ago. One of my friends actually suggested it because I grew up in a really rural part of the States and I didn't even know Comic Cons were a thing. That's how under the farm I lived.
Under the farm?
I did. There was a cornfield in front, and there was a cow pasture to the left, and then like a field pasture, and then a forest behind me where I had to worry about rattlesnakes and cottonmouths.
But under
the farm.
What does that even?
It's exactly. It is under the barn, but next to the corn crib, right? So I didn't even know Comic Cons were a thing, but one of my friends knew that I knew how to sew, so he's like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, what is cosplay? And I started making costumes, and I've never stopped since.
Yeah, it's addiction.
It is. But it's a safe addiction, unlike crack.
It's like a safe.
It's costly,
Yeah.
but safer than crack.
Ooh, water. Thank you.
Ooh, I would like some water, but thank you.
Mama LeeAnna's gonna drink some water.
Thank you. Can we all cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, we got some ramen
Cheers,
in
Fan
there.
Expo, guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shaker cup. She's not playing around. Okay. You got protein in there or is it water?
I thought she said world tea.
That's
And I was like, world tea.
I think I mumble sometimes when I'm like really excited. Sorry. World tea.
Okay, so I have grown up with anime, games, and just nerdy shit my whole life. My whole family has been just like, I grew up with two brothers, and they were really into video games and Pokemon and stuff like that. So I was like forced into it at a very young age, like 5 or 6 years old. I'm sure everyone can relate to like your siblings forcing you to play like Resident Evil or something. It's just the worst. So I got into it that way, and then I went all through high school and everything, being in like the anime club and everyone being like, you're weird, and me being like, I'm just gonna draw Yu-Gi-Oh and Bakura making out, or Yu-Gi and Bakura. And then one of my friends was like, hey, you're a big weeb, do you want to go to this thing called Comic-Con? And I was like, Comic-Con, but comics are not anime. And he goes, hey, but they had anime there too. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con was my first one. And I dressed up as a sexy Pikachu because I thought it would be kind of like a meme, like a troll, whatever. And it ended up being the most fun and most connected to other human beings I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm sure all of you can relate to that with this. Like, oh my God, it opened my world so much. And then it kind of just snowballed. Next year is my 10-year anniversary. Woo-woo. And that is insane. I'm dressed as a fucking Pokemon. What do you do for a living, Jess? But yeah, no, it's amazing. I think cosplay is really amazing and it's really cool and you get to meet cool people and do cool things. Just do the Davy Jones. Yeah, Jeff. Do you guys like Davy Jones?
We've been doing that since yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What about you, Soni?
Your turn. My turn. It's similar to Jess. I was an anime nerd growing up, and I had a friend invite me to an anime convention about 15 years ago now. I know. So I'm 15 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. So she let me borrow one of her cosplays. I had no idea what any of this was, and it was a War of Genesis, which is like an old Korean MMO. The character's named Baramode. It was a transgender character. It was really cool. I like bound my girls and everything. It was really fun. I'm telling you, I think she can. We're trying
under each armpit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really buff, like really wide. It's supposed to be Bara AF.
It could work. It could Google Bara. It's great.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get distracted really easily. Okay.
That was my fault. That was my fault.
What was I saying? Okay, so I wore the cosplay and I went with her, and I just felt so comfortable and so connected with everyone there. Like what she said, that I got addicted. As soon as I got home, I bought myself a sewing machine and taught myself how to sew and started going to any convention I could. So
That's how I started. Go ahead, LeeAnna. So I think very similar story to Jess and Soni. This year of cons is my 16th year of conventions.
You're timeless. You look exactly the same as when I met you.
I love you.
she's really a vamp.
2011, I met her, and I'm like, who's this hot cheerleader, zombie, vampire chick? Hell yeah, looks the same.
Thanks. It's all the blood. It's all the blood. So similar story. I've been going to Comic-Con for 16 years, and I started as a fan. I would go with my friends to hang out and go through Artist Alley and check out new comics, new artists. And years later, I met my husband, who I found out had been going to the same convention for years prior, and our paths had never crossed. When we met, we started doing a show at the cons called I Love Nerd Girls. Jess was on it, I think Soni's been on it. It's essentially like Comic-Con coverage. So if you couldn't go to Comic-Con, you can watch my video and see what went on there. And that kind of snowballed into cosplaying, and then cosplaying kind of snowballed into traveling for cons and meeting amazing people like these ladies that are some of my best friends. I love them dearly, and I would have never met them if it weren't for this amazing world. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you, cosplay.
Okay.
Now that we've told us a mini hyperbole, is that the right word? Hyperbole? What's a hyperbole?
Hyperbole. Hyperbole. It's a different thing.
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole. You know.
Wow. Somebody who's super aggressively mean.
Like really spastic.
Like, they have their Red Bull in their hand while they're fucking trolling you. Sorry about the cursing. Sweet Jesus, I curse so much.
Yeah, I don't know. We could just kind of keep going, or do you guys have questions or anything that's like a little tickle in the back of your throat? You want to? Hello.
Selena.
Do you fear death?
Would you? Okay, in Pirates of the Caribbean, would you say yes to the servitude with Davy Jones?
Do you really have a choice?
What? Do you ever? Yeah. Okay. So say your crew dies, but he goes. I always choose one for the crew, and he puts you on your knees, and you say, "Do you fear death?" And then, "Do you want to become part of the ship for the crew?" And then I think you have to either serve. Is it 10 years or 100 years? Who's a Pirates fan?
I feel it depends.
It's 10 years, and then what happens after 10 years? And then you just die, right?
Guys that usually play lying dust. They've been on that ship for hundreds of years.
So does that mean? Oh, that's right. Okay, so they stay on for 10 years,
Yeah, and then
they
your
gamble
time.
their time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can stay forever. Okay,
okay.
Would you become a part of the Flying Dutchman?
I mean,
Should
I
we
like
take a
pirates.
tablet in the
Okay,
audience?
raise your hand if you become part of Flying Dutchman.
Or what's your other
You're
option?
joining
You
the
die,
Dutch.
right?
Why would I become a shark? Are you kidding? I could be like
I know. I feel like that would
street
be fun.
sharks.
You're a dolphin.
Yes.
Well,
Okay, would you not? Would everyone else is decent?
You're gonna die?
You're not. Okay.
Who
What if
doesn't?
it's okay? What if it's piloted by William Turner? So
Well, can you get busy
So it's good
on
flight.
the-
Well,
Do I have to give it up for every 10 years like those two had to do? Like every 10 years they saw each
Oh
other?
yeah. So it's only 10 years. He's only allowed one day
It's
on
only
land
10
every 10
years.
years.
That's
see.
No, I
You wanna
take
die?
10. I can't do that.
So I feel like get me and Ryan. We're gonna go be sharks. It's gonna be awesome.
So what I was wondering is why she didn't join the crew, right? So she could always be with him. I would have done it.
Are you not allowed women on the boat?
No.
I would do it. I would dress myself
There
up as
is
a
many
man.
women on the. See, that's why I asked. No, the answer is no.
I would
You
do
would
it.
feel that.
I'd find a way to make it happen.
To say that women were kind of bad luck.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Oh,
It's,
that's unfortunate.
But that's like real life too. You could say the men are.
full of dudes. There's one girl.
Ah,
Yeah.
Which
she's gonna have a good time. No, I'm just kidding.
or
Not that kind of shit.
Just joking. It's the joke.
I'm sorry, I started this conversation.
No, it's good. It's good. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Yeah. Wait, how do we get there?
Wait, are we okay? We're still talking. We're still talking about the boat.
That's true. Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes.
So this is in regard to like cosplay consent. So whenever I take a picture with a cosplayer with any physical interaction, I'm like petrified and unintentionally like make my hand do what they should be. But at the same time, I almost want to avoid any awkward photos or really awkward.
Sure.
What would you tell practical hands to balance intention?
Oh,
Ask permission.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Just
Say, may I put my arm on your shoulder?
Yeah.
May I put it around your waist?
Yeah.
Ask permission,
And then if they say no, if they're not comfortable, then like usually like they're pretty good about like doing a different pose where you guys aren't touching, but it's still close enough so you don't get the hover hand thing. Because like if we're meeting people and we're at booths and stuff or even on the floor, people really appreciate it when you just act like they're a human being, say please and thank you. You know, they're cosplayers, they're also attendees, they're also on the floor enjoying themselves too. So no-nos are like you always ask permission for anything and always just be polite. You know, maybe they've had a rough day, maybe their feet hurt, maybe their shoulders hurt, you know? Costumes are a bitch to wear. Also, never take a photo of a cosplayer when they're eating unless they say it's okay, again, because that is, I know people have done that in the past and it's just it's a pet peeve because it's like, this is my time to be a human, like I can perform later, but not now. So don't do that. What else would you say?
I think that it happens often where your hand goes where it's not supposed to and it's an accident.
Oh, and then just apologize, say, I'm so sorry, and then just,
Totally not a big deal.
if you feel weird, just bring it in and do like I had to do it to him pose, you know? Like just being out of control. Or a nice dab is fine too.
yeah.
What did you say?
A nice dab.
I just said dad at first. I was
A
like,
nice dad.
I thought she said that too. A nice dad is good. I'm like, okay.
Bring your dads, guys.
Well, are there any other cosplayers? Like, do you have any tips or things that you think would, like, about what's like a thing to do when you're interacting with a cosplayer that maybe like people might not know that maybe you experienced that you're like, it would have been better if they did not do this.
I love when she brings out Kermit.
Oh, videos? Okay. Yeah.
oh,
no!
no.
Oh.
No,
See, that's no bueno. Ask next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be so much better if you like interact with the cosplayer and they're like, yes, because they're there, you know, they want to be that character, you know. She's dressed as Cinder, let her step on you, you know. It's good stuff. But yeah, just any respect that you would give to any other human being, and maybe even just because I'm biased because I'm a cosplayer, but like just a little extra sprinkle of like, I know you're wearing a wig, and I know if it's from eBay, it probably hurts your head real hard because it's a real tight wig, you know? So yeah, just a little extra.
Be considerate. Be kind.
Because they're like walking pieces of art, and we appreciate if you do.
Great question.
Sanku.
He had a question. Likely, sure. Yeah, back there.
Hello.
Oh, hi. What was the last cosplay you did when you looked at it, you went, holy, well.
In a good way or a bad way? Because there are many of.
In a good way.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like our own, or like someone else's.
Someone else's.
else's.
Someone else's.
Oh.
My favorite, and I think it was it at Toronto? It was an Inspector Gadget. This was a couple years ago, but it was like a legit Inspector Gadget, like on stilts with the propellers and the handle. Like it was amazing. It was really, really cool.
That would be awesome.
Do you guys know Lightning Cosplay from Germany? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She what is it? Darksiders that she just did? Yeah. Oh my god. Her and Rolf and her team. Yes. Yeah. So Baka Cosplay, who's an incredible Junkrat cosplayer, made the wig, and it's like a huge collaborative effort of like all these different people on these two costumes, and it's so amazing. Like it's so incredible. Please look it up.
I think before the movie came out, somebody made an incredible Hulkbuster. And it was massive. I don't know, it was at Philly, I think. Were you at that show with me?
It was Philly.
It was huge, and oh my gosh, the fact that they saw it from the trailer and made it that quickly, and it was, I'm not kidding, they couldn't bring it up on stage, it was so big. He had to walk in front. It was impressive.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that is what she said.
I'm 5, okay? Soni.
Do you guys know Leon Chiro?
Yeah.
Maybe? He does a really good Sephiroth. He just made it, and when I saw it, I was like, what? So good, so good. He's very talented. When he like focuses on something, yeah, he can hold a card in his abs. So you can ask him. I did it. I was like, here you go, and he held it. I took a video of it. It's real.
I have a photo with him, and we had a photo op. This is in Montreal. And so he has, like, I don't know, I forget what he was wearing, but he had no shirt on. And so I was wearing a kigurumi, and I had my husband, like, with my makeup, put abs on me. So when we did the photos, he didn't even know, and I opened my thing and like put my abs out. It is so funny. I need to repost that photo.
Yeah.
He still had more abs than me, though.
I want to see that. I like Leon because he's really good at interacting with the people that follow him. He's really,
great.
really just good at making you feel so like loved and everything. And that's why I like Leon. It's because he's just really engaging and he like looks into your soul every time.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Good question.
Those
like
Lowe's abs.
Oh, the lines. Oh yeah, Leon is a gem. He's a true
He needs
gem.
to be with like we're like campaigning for boys to be with us next year, like for Fan Expo.
More
We
male
need
cosplayers?
boys.
Yeah, there need to be more male cosplayers.
We're trying.
Yeah, they need love too, man.
Trying.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have more male cosplayers at the convention, it'll give more guys that come to conventions maybe more confidence to be like, oh shit, these guys are doing it, I want to do it too.
Exactly.
Which would be really cool. It's not just a girl thing.
No, we love seeing guys dress up. I fangirl over guys.
Every
Every time I
time.
do girls any day of the week. It's
Ryan
so
dresses in like, he dressed in Sylvanas, and I was just like,
Oh, you can burn my tree.
Hey, Ryan.
all right, oh, he's here. Looking right into the face. Oh yeah, if you guys have questions for Ryan too, I can answer for him.
Or you can run up here really, really fast because we know he wants to do that.
Because I know he gets a lot of questions about how do you deal with a girlfriend who puts themselves out there like that, blah, blah, blah. So,
What did he wrote like she makes it easy, and I was like, oh.
okay, anyways. Yes. So what I do is when you make a prop, you want to measure your suitcase, your largest suitcase, and you want to make it so you can either break it down, or scale it down, or make it so it can be put together. So like tomorrow I'll have my Princess Mononoke spear, and it breaks off into 3 different pieces. So that way I just go poop, poop, poop. Like spears are easy. It's the Monster Hunter stuff, or like the really big props that are a pain in the butt. But you can usually get around it if you find a point where it can break, and then you can fold it, and then wrap it in like bubble wrap or something.
There's also, I have them, I know you have them too, Jess, those steel frame suitcases.
Oh yes.
And they're a little bit pricier, but they're pretty bulletproof. So you can put stuff like armor in there, and there's no way it's gonna get crushed because the frame
so
actually
great.
is unbreakable.
Yeah. Always hard-proof cases for your cosplays.
I need that.
Yeah, I just, I second
Yeah.
that motion.
Such a, if you get Samsonite too, they actually have a lifetime warranty. So if you ever break your Samsonite case, they can replace it for free. Hashtag not sponsored.
Mine are broken, and they're fixing them.
Yep. They're so amazing. Sold. Yep. Hello.
So have you guys had any interesting stories or experiences going through customs, having to explain to them like what you're bringing through?
One time I brought my Skyrim helmet through, and all the customs people just wore it. And I was like, oh yeah, foos. Cool. And they're like, I love Skyrim. And I'm like, get through there. Ooh, one time Ryan and I came through with my Junkrat, because we were taking it to New Zealand, and they almost threw it away because it looked so realistic. And they were like, and I was like, hold it, it's foam, it's not real. And they're like, yeah, but this is America. But yeah. That's probably the weirdest stuff. Usually everyone's really chill. I look like a scrub lord when I travel anyway, so everyone's usually, they leave us alone.
I have a collection of those. You guys get the little papers when they go
Yeah.
through your suitcase. Literally have like a stack of them, so they always go through my stuff. I actually follow TSA's Instagram because they post when
TSA's
people,
Instagram?
they have an Instagram, and they post when people travel with like knives or guns or ninja stars or things that are illegal, and so they usually will post them on their Instagram saying like, hey, you can't have a gun and ammo in the same, like that's not okay. And they post pictures. It's a lot of common sense stuff, but my goal is to get on there, like because I have weird stuff all the time, so I'm hoping one of these days. Yeah.
There's like crabs.
Yeah, there's like way real crazy stuff.
Like live crabs?
People will try to bring
There's
those
like a
together.
massive crab. What the?
I'm telling you.
What?
Yeah.
Who brings a crab? Well, okay, I can understand how this happened.
How?
Explain.
Tell us the story.
Okay, so you're having a really good time.
Okay.
And like you got your snorkel kit and you're like, oh, let's go snorkeling all day. Maybe like you leave your shoes on the beach. Maybe the tide comes in. Maybe the tide hits your shoes. You go, oh no, my shoes are wet. You didn't know that while your shoes were there, little Krabby Bab jumped in there. And then now you have a crab on TSA Instagram. Okay, good. That's how it happened. So I'm a detective.
You only wore your shoes once on that trip and you never wear them again.
Maybe you
That's
had to get
how
on the
it's
plane right after you got done snorkeling, but you wanted to spend your morning doing that. And you had your flip-flops on the side. I got
There's
you.
so many guns. Oh hey, there's a Freddy
lots of
Krueger
guns.
thing.
There's what?
They call it cosplayer.
Yeah. There's usually like lots of props. It's goals, guys. I'm gonna be on there one day. Post it everywhere.
They say lost a glove. They took
Yeah.
that. They totally took that. Their size? Oh my god, that's cool. I can just imagine the TSA agents being like, yeah.
It's usually people with those photos are usually people carrying stuff on, because clearly like you can check
carry
that
on.
stuff, you can
Yeah.
check it,
Yeah.
but you can't go through. When we were coming back from New York Comic Con, there was a guy with a sword,
Like a
a
full sword?
metal sword,
That's
and
a
he was
limited
going
edition.
through
Please don't take it away.
the scanner, and he was like making a big scene on why he couldn't take his sword on the plane. I was like, dude, go home. Like, what is wrong with you?
They take my scissors that are less than 4 inches. He is not getting on there with
It's
a sword.
like it was like a full
One time we got through with like fabric shears.
Yeah, I've gone through with like scissors.
No, like the big
Oh,
one.
I'm surprised because every time I'll pull them
That
out and they'll be
one
like this
too.
big, like, well, we have to measure it. We have to make sure it's not over 4 inches. And I'm like,
What are you gonna do if you
from the
want to kill
fulcrum,
someone?
this is clearly 2 inches. I'm just gonna,
Yeah,
and take it all the way in. Like, what do I do with that?
there's some ambitious people.
I know they're blunt at the end, so I mean, I guess I'm going for pain. I mean, I don't know. It's like stabbing
You
somebody
have
with a
that look in your
spoon.
eyebrow. You have that crazy look. You're
I
like,
was carrying a
she's
knife at
trouble.
dinner. I was like this. I look like a maniac.
Do you guys have any
Other questions?
I think did you have a question?
Yeah.
No? Oh.
I was just gonna say, like, one thing that I find is like a little bit weird when it comes to taking having photos taken.
Yeah.
Is if like, especially if you're a woman in kind of a skinnier outfit, and
Yes.
someone comes by and at a far distance takes your photo and then goes, "Who are you?"
Oh
Yeah, that's
You
weird.
know?
Well-
It feels like they're just taking photos and go like.
I mean, to be honest, that is fair. I think the far away thing is what I would be more like, what would be like, hey, just ask me, you know?
Yeah.
But if they came up and they said, who are you? Say if you're dressed as an obscure anime or character or a game, I feel like that would be a really good opportunity for like bonding and conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Photo first and then like.
Yeah, if you're like
Yeah.
trying to snipe from really far away, like,
Yeah. Something that you caught their attention, and then at least they made the effort to come and say something.
yeah, that's
I
Yeah.
feel like it's more appropriate to ask who they are first and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I agree.
That makes
For
sense.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I think some people get nervous though, and they think maybe, like,
100%.
maybe they look at your costume and they're like, you know what, that's a really cool costume, and then they realize they caught your attention afterwards. And like, okay, maybe I can say something,
Yeah.
and then. 'Cause I mean, I get social anxiety, so you know, in some situations, maybe somebody's just afraid to say something, and maybe they just think you look really awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, man, they might just be like,
Yeah, buddy.
I don't think I can talk to her, she's too cool. That's what I did with freaking Mall cosplay. You know Mall cosplay?
Oh, he's intense.
He did the really awesome,
Geralt.
yeah. I took a photo of him from really far away and put him on my Instagram story, and he's like, next time come up to me. And I was like, ah! I'm sorry! I didn't tag him or anything, he just saw it. I was like, jeez. Stay away.
We have questions up here, right there on that. Yep. Yeah, you. Yeah.
How many costumes do you guys have like in your closet? closets.
Oh God.
At any given time, how many are you working on?
I don't think I've ever.
Don't make me tell
I don't think I've
myself.
ever counted. I think it's like kind of depressing. All my closets, I have like storage bins. I don't have a storage unit yet. I should probably.
I know. Unit now. Yeah.
But a lot.
Costumes
A
have
lot.
souls, and if you leave them in your house, they taunt you.
They're like, wear me. Why don't you wear me anymore, Mom? Why'd you put me in the closet? Why did you put me on my shoulder left?
Like,
You love Psylocke more than me.
How do you choose your favorite child? No, but yeah, no. How many costumes? Ryan, how many costumes do you think?
In the house?
In the house and storage unit.
Like all together.
Maybe like 200? If I'm being like on the easy side, you know?
Can you work on a lot of different ones at the same time?
I like to think I can, but really I cannot.
I don't. I try to do one at a time.
Yeah.
I know my limits. Yeah.
I just love how it sticks up and doesn't fall over. I need to
Hey,
know your
Bro.
weight.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'll try to do a couple at one time, but it's probably better to try to focus on one unless you're really good at multitasking. Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I think I ever do that is like, say I have something that I'm painting and I'm trying to let it dry, then I'll start working on small pieces of another one, or maybe just small pieces of the same one. But I try to time manage because I suck at that. So I will write myself out this little script. I'm like, get this done, get this done, get this done. I'm like, okay, well I do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But yes, I'm guilty of working on like 4 costumes at the same time. Yes. I love things.
Hello.
Hi, I was just wondering, what were your favorite costumes?
That's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
I'll pick my favorite child. My stormtrooper because I feel like a badass.
Yeah, that's all.
Easy.
What are you still
Pick your favorite child already.
How about you, Jess?
I want to say definitely, because that was kind of the moment where I truly wanted to like try real hard, you know? And I felt like I did a good job, and I felt cool, and I loved the aesthetic of like a big jaw, and I felt really like masculine but feminine at the same time. But that one was really cool. I feel like I've never really pushed myself very much until that one, and so that was a very like thank you, definitely moment for me. But yeah, that one for sure.
Oh, I thought we were going to Brit.
You don't have to pick if you don't have one.
I don't.
Or just choose a random one.
I keep doing different versions of Harley Quinn. I have a problem, so it's probably Harley.
So does she. She has many problems.
Yeah, we're twins. Mine is probably my Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a healthy balance between it didn't take me forever to make, so like it wasn't at the point where I wanted to kill it by the time it was done. Oh yeah, you can throw it in fire and watch it burn, that's dead. I was that close with my Bilgewater Katarina. I hated that costume by the time I was done with it. But no, the Catwoman, I just loved wearing it, I loved making it, and I'm like hand stitching, and I felt like I was her in the movie, and I was watching her do it while I was doing it, and it was a good bonding moment. I did, the cats were sitting right next to me, but yeah, it was a good bonding moment that she doesn't know we had.
Believe it or not, she threw the costume away. She doesn't have it.
I heard they made 17 different latex
All
suits.
destroyed.
Smart. Be gone.
Well, they were latex, I wouldn't want to wear that either.
Yay.
Yeah, actually, on a tangent, like, which costumes do you regret making?
Bilgewater Katarina. That was not hard.
I heard all of them. It's taking me down a path I can't turn away from. Every day I stray further from God. Darker and darker the lights get. And then I start wearing bird masks. So you know where my mind is at.
No, I like them all. Regret? No, none. None of them. They're all awesome. I love them.
I don't think I have no regrets. You got any regrets? No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
I think that there's a point in every costume making process that you're like, why did I do this? Like we all have that. But in the end, once it's done, usually you're pretty happy with it most of the time.
So worth it.
Yeah.
Unless you make Bilgewater Katarina and then
Unless
you're just mad.
you're Brandon.
I will never do that again.
Hi.
I just recently discovered cosplay.
Ooh.
And I guess I wasn't really aware of how big and how competitive cosplay could be. Have any of you ever been tempted to start going on that
Competition. Yeah. I haven't. The idea of competition like terrifies me. Walking on a stage, I don't think there's any time in my life that I've ever walked on a stage without tripping, and that's not a joke. Like I'll trip up the stairs, I'll trip down the stairs, I'll trip on the stage. So that's like a fear of mine of competition. And I don't necessarily do it for the competition, I do it because I love it and it's fun. And I feel like that would put me in a different lane. It would be way too stressful for me, and I know that, so I've just never taken that route.
I remember, okay, so for World Cosplay Summit, I know that they, over the years, keep changing how they do it or the rules on it and stuff like that. So I never actually wanted to go. I do like competing, but it's also, maybe this is how it is for a lot of competitions. Unless someone's sponsoring you, you need to take care of all of those times that you have to go there until you actually win, and then they'll pay for you to come out. So that's like another thing. So if it's held in Germany, you need to take care of all of that, you know? So it's kind of like, it's already stressful to come up with a skit and come up with a costume all by yourself, and then to add, you know, that to it. Because I know with a lot of competitions, people are sponsored and then they fly you out, you know, the companies. So I have competed in the past and I like it, but WCS, I just like watching it, you know what I mean? I don't know if I would ever actually go, but I don't know.
I would love to try it, just once, just to see how it feels, and then never do it again. I think it'd be really cool. It'd be cool to challenge yourself to see if you could even like make something to caliber, you know? Like I would love to do BlizzCon 1 year, you know? Maybe way down the road after I've gotten my house bus and my thousands of small dogs and I've traveled around the world, I come back, but I'm all like old and decrepit, and I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to enter the competition. But I'll be like, old lady, it'll be great. And no one will know.
I used to do little things, like, you know, little contests, but just because I wanted to get up on stage and whatever I made when I first started. But, you know, I make costumes and I do cosplay because I love it, not because I'm looking for everybody else's acceptance of what I do, or, yeah. But no, I do this because I want to do it, not because I want somebody else to tell me I'm good at it.
But it's nice to win a couple $100, you know, when you win a contest.
You know what?
I'm just saying.
Stop killing my like philosophical moment here. I got super deep.
I'm gonna have a tiny Soni contest, and then you can just enter all your costumes, and
There
I'll
you
pick
go.
one of your costumes, and you win. And then you win.
And then you can win $200 that way.
No, it's fun sometimes to do
You're right.
competitions.
No, I'm not dissing competitions. I'm not dissing it at all. It's just not
Are
something.
you guys fighting? Are you guys having a fight right
No,
now?
I love you.
It's fun.
Oh wait, hold on.
Let's choose.
Yeah, we're again. I'm not picking. I keep picking. Soni, you pick.
Oh, sorry. Behind the bunny ears, all the way back there. Yeah.
Hello.
Kind of branching off of your statements about more males in cosplay. This is like my first one I ever made. I got a heck of a lot of help from my girlfriend, and
Yay, girlfriend!
But I was just wondering, like, what do you use when you need an idea? How do you get your ideas, and where do you find your methods, like, for making stuff? Like, I know you can go on YouTube and find a wealth of information, and Kamui has a really good book series, but where do we go, like, from there? What else is there, is what I'm wondering.
Well, there's also a prop maker named Bill Duran. He's come out with a full foam EVA book that he's done. You can also look into other prop builders. There's Core Geek, who's a really amazing prop builder. People for sewing, there's God Save the Queen Fashions. She's an incredible artist outside of Atlanta. And then, honestly, if you make friends in the community, you could reach out to like local seamstresses and local people. And even what I would suggest is Googling stuff first, so you can kind of get a general knowledge, and then you can pinpoint the exact question that you want to ask. That way it's like streamlined and it's really efficient for them, because they might be busy too, so you can just kind of go in and be like, this is what I'm asking, and then they can be like, oh, easy, you made that easy for me, thank you. Also, just Google, use your Google. Like literally, cosplay has become so massive, there has to be something out there for someone to offer a tutorial-wise or like step-by-step wise in photos out there. There's so much information. It's a plethora. There was a TV show on like SyFy channel that LeeAnna was in. I forgot. What? That's right. She was a judge of the. What was that? Cosplay Melee? No, here's a cosplay. Cosplay Melee, yeah. And so you can watch shows like that. I have a feeling it's just going to start growing and growing and growing more and more. So I think the longer cosplay's around, the more information is going to be really readily available to you.
Yeah, and trial and error too. It's okay to just try something, even if you're not great at it or you don't think you're going to be great at it. Just try it out. And I learned a lot of things by just trying. And I sucked at it at first, and I got better. The saying "practice makes perfect." It's like.
It's so true.
People have said it because it's true. So it's fine to try not to be intimidated and just go for it. And if you're bad at it and you want help, or you, like Jess is saying, reach out to the community, Google it, because chances are someone has done it before and will either tell you or has a video to show you how to do it.
And when it comes to sewing, if you can sew a straight line, you can pretty much sew anything. It's just
That's a lie!
It's a matter of taking your time. I picked it up when I was 12, though. My great-grandma used to teach me in her basement.
That's why.
She started me with like this. She's like, go really slow, go really slow. And I'm like, this is really slow. But I eventually made a shirt.
Sleeves are the devil.
Yes. See, I don't sew up the side seam now on those. I attach the whole sleeve first, and then I do the side seam all together. And that makes it so much easier.
Is that what you do, crochet?
That's what I do.
You do it in a pinch?
What
do you mean in a pinch?
It's a quick way to do it.
See, you just learned something new.
It's a quick method. Yeah. But another way is like to add a little bit of extra ease. Yeah, I always add a little extra ease right up here at the seam line. And then I baste it, and then I just tack it in a little bit and gather it, and then I set it in. It's sewing.
It's like Joseph.
But yeah, that's a quick way to set it.
Good question.
A little sleepy.
There's more hands.
Oh no, oh no. Oh, just kidding.
I'm not thinking anymore.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry.
Listen.
Goldwater Katarina.
Everyone is annoying to wear. No, yeah, they all have their like pros and they all have their cons. This one's like really comfy and easy to wear, but it's got this thing right here, and it's digging into my soul. And I smile through the pain. It reminds me I'm alive.
I think that we all do like test runs too. Like you're like, oh, I'm just gonna put it on for a little bit, walk around and make sure it fits fine. And you do that for like 5 or 10 minutes. You're like, oh, it's great.
You're like, this is
But
great.
that's not even really like a test run. You need like a couple hours in it, and then once you put it on, you realize, oh wow, that sucks. And then you're stuck in it all day. So I feel like every costume that I've made has that too.
Oh yeah,
there's always something.
Nothing you make is gonna be like 100% comfortable unless you're like wearing like a sweatpant t-shirt costume or like a cute little basketball anime costume or something. Or like free. Wear a free costume? Yeah. We should be free. We should. Yeah. Do you want to do Yuri on Ice?
Oh my god, yes.
We're trying to plan. We want to do boys. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
No. Yeah, we want to costume. That sounds right.
I hope no one recorded this. She's gonna be all like,
Everyone's like,
we want to do boys. We want to do boys. We want to do boys.
Next question. Yes.
What are some of your favorite conventions and why?
Toronto Fan Expo. No, yeah, you can go.
Oh,
Was that? Do you have one?
Mine is San Diego Comic-Con. That was my very first convention. It's like my hometown con. It's a place where I met a lot of some of my best friends. So it means a lot to me right in my heart.
Dragon Con. Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's not.
I sacrificed it this year, but I'm going Sunday night, so it's on.
DragonCon all the same weekend. PAX Toronto and DragonCon all the same weekend. They need to coordinate.
Yeah, they do.
Because then everyone, I'm sure everyone would go to all of them, right? Like just, yeah, it'd be awesome.
That's right.
My favorite? They're all good because they all have good things.
If you had to pick,
Anime Expo was pretty dope, but last year was this year it was like, it was really spicy. I mean, hot, not spicy. But
it was too crowded. It's gotten so big, and there's really not much room for them to expand.
Intimate cons.
Intimate con?
Intimate con.
You want to go to intimate con?
Is it this weekend? That one.
Another one too? Montreal as well?
Yeah. No, I think every con has like its pros and cons. I'm a dad, Soni. That may be my dad self. No, I can't choose. I'm not gonna. That's unfair.
No, I'm Dragon Con.
Sorry. Making us look bad, Jeff.
No, I'm in the same boat because I feel like my favorite cons depend on the people I'm there with.
Yeah.
Like that, it depends on my
and
friends.
Then say hi.
Yeah, it depends on my friends and the new people that I meet, and it changes like every 3 cons, which is my favorite show. So I just stopped picking favorites.
Yep.
Oh, don't, girl, don't. That's a curse word. That's a curse word. It's the Murloc of shows.
I think we're good. Hello.
Have you guys ever had any creators or artists like compliment or reach out to you saying like bring their characters to life?
I worked with Blizzard 3 times because they thought my costume was cool.
Nope.
And it's cool.
Did you say no?
No.
So are you okay? I'm not upset about it, I was just being real no. That would be nice.
Aunt Lucia really liked my Bombshell Batwoman. He actually signed my bat when he saw it, so I was super stoked about that. I was like, I want to wear it like every day now because he signed the bat. I was pretty stoked.
We got 5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes. Let's go rapid fire. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing.
Yes. Go.
Actually, I guess this would be more for like you and LeeAnna Vamp, you both like judge contests. What's the criteria?
I do not judge contests anymore because I don't feel comfortable doing it.
Well, you don't think we judge?
Yeah, I judge too.
No, they might do, but I personally just doesn't feel. I don't know. I don't want that power. I don't like that. I don't know. Anytime they ask me to, I'm always like, can I just be like a guest opinion? Because that community knows those people, knows who made what, who, how, where, why, how, and everything. And I don't want to be. I don't want to be responsible for that. You know? I know it's weird, but that's so much pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. It depends.
What? No, yeah, I don't want to do it. No.
It depends on the contest too, because a lot of like the Reed Pop shows, like New York Comic Con, they have a very strict criteria. So it's not like you go into it with, you get to judge on your own terms. There's like a very strict sheet of rules, and you're judging by category. People are put into different categories, and there's certain things that you're looking for, but it's all predetermined. So everyone's judged fairly.
I'm one of the guests for the Salt Lake Comic Con next weekend, and they have a very strict list of criteria. They have an online judging process, then they have an all-day judging process, and then the people who make it through those first 2 sessions make it to that last
I'm
session.
stressed just thinking about it.
I don't do the online because I don't have time, and I don't do the all-day judging because I don't have time. But they like to have a cosplayer judging, so I do it for that sake. But they give each one of us something different to judge on. So it's not like, it's very controlled, so it works out well, but I don't do a whole lot of
It's not
judging.
ultimately just on one person.
No,
like,
exactly,
We're just a
it's
factor.
balanced between everybody, so and you don't even know what everybody else is voting on. So it makes it anonymous, and it makes it kind of nice that way too for the contestants.
I do wish they had someone that was like really good at electronics, really good at armor, really good at sewing,
Yeah.
and they had like a really broad spectrum. I don't feel confident in saying someone's stuff is good or not because I have not experienced the full spectrum of creation. I think someone like Vulpin Props is very qualified.
Yeah.
Someone like Bill Durant, incredibly qualified. Yaya Han, incredibly qualified. I just don't want to put that. I don't want it. Yeah, sorry.
I don't want it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Next question.
Do we have anyone that has a question that hasn't asked a question yet?
Yes.
You have it right here. Yeah.
Number 1 female superhero?
Wonder Woman.
One?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, do My Hero Academia characters count?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, not lady. She's the lady that gets real big and she has the purple hands. Yeah, not lady.
Do we have time for?
Yeah, we can do a couple more rounds.
Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon. I had to pick one. I'm sorry.
Next question.
Okay, anyone else that has a question that hasn't asked a question yet? Yes, go.
Do you guys ever like wanna, when you're just like going about your business like in your house, you're like, I feel like wearing this cosplay day, just like jump into a cosplay?
Yeah. I've done that. I was gonna wear them to college one day. Nope. I thought it would have been funny. Nope. I want to wear my Sith.
Not for around the house.
No, I used to do, when I first made my Stormtrooper, I would do that. I would just wear it in the backyard and the dogs and cats would follow me around, and it's funny because it sounds like Tupperware. Like, it doesn't sound cool at all. You sound really lame. And I would wear it and I had like my big blaster and I'd walk around, but then that got old real quick. I started, it like cuts in, you're bleeding, you're like, this is really that fun anymore.
I'm having a good time with my cats.
The cats like it though.
Yeah. Did you want one too?
Yeah.
Alex Straza.
Yeah, is it coming or?
Oh yeah, I wore it at BlizzCon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll post one right now.
Alune?
Alune?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Alune or Alex Straza?
I thought it was Alune.
Alune is the one with the moon and the god and the scythe and the... Yeah. To be decided.
Okay, right here. Yep. Yep.
Oh, so I don't know if you guys have pets or anything, but like, how do you keep your pets away from your closet?
No, they can hang out with them. They're so cute. They play on them.
The cats are part of the costume. And so you have to get to the point where the lint roller comes off and you're like, okay, now you can't be on it anymore. But my animals are very much a part of my life. They're always next to me and near me and loving me.
Don't they love it when you're working on cosplay? Do they just sit there and like watch,
they know
right?
I'm going to be in one spot for an extended period of
It's
time,
so
and they're like, "Oh, we're going to be here and watch you,
Yep.
and call all your stuff."
I call my cats my
spray
crafty
bottle for
cats.
Ryan, but...
I call my cats my crafty cats. My crafty cats, because what they do is they stick their little paws on the fabric and wait to see if I yell at them, and then when I don't, they just sprawl out, and it's like I'm getting ready to cut them out like one of my French girls, but I don't because I love them, so I just let them lay there. I've thought about it, but I think Sminkari keeps gaining weight, and he's like 18 pounds now, and it's just, unless it's spandex, it's just not gonna work.
Just have elastic extenders.
He would hate me, but he'd probably still later be like, all right, I still love
Okay,
you.
Mom.
Oh yeah! Do you guys want to crack your knuckles all at one time?
Hey, wait, hold on.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. It's fun. It sounds gross. We do it every time. I'm just gonna like face this way.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna record it.
No,
and then someone
that's,
can
I look weird.
Hold on. Don't go yet.
You ready?
No, not yet.
Everyone get ready to crack your knuckles. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. So many buttons. Ideal meal. Ideal meal.
We're done.
Okay, we're done. Thanks, guys. We did it.
Guys, thank you so much for coming to the panel. Thanks for letting us do what was just super chill. Oh, do you guys want to take a picture before we leave? Yes. Come close. We're doing a big group creature selfie. Okay. Yes. Guys, get close.
Come here. Where's LeeAnna?
Okay, now let's do video and everyone just screams. Yeah!
Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2018. Join the conversation below with a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.